For years, businesses competed mainly on products. Better phones, better food, better prices, better services. But today, something much bigger is happening behind the scenes. Companies are now fighting for something even more valuable than money: your attention. And the battle over consumer attention is becoming far more aggressive than most people realize. Because in today's economy, attention drives everything. The longer businesses keep consumers engaged, the more likely people are to spend money, stay loyal, click ads, buy subscriptions, and remain inside company ecosystems. And modern corporations understand this extremely well. That is why nearly every industry now feels designed to constantly pull people back in. Streaming platforms automatically start the next episode. Apps send non-stop notifications. Social media feeds never truly end. Retailers push personalized alerts. Gaming companies create daily rewards and streak systems. Even fast food apps constantly offer limited-time promotions designed to trigger repeat engagement. None of this is accidental. Businesses discovered something powerful. Attention itself became one of the most valuable assets in the modern economy. For decades, companies mainly competed for consumer spending. Now they compete for consumer time. Because time creates opportunities for spending. The longer people stay connected to a platform, the more valuable they become to businesses. Technology companies help create this shift first. Social media platforms realize user attention could be monetized at enormous scale through advertising. The more time people spent scrolling, watching, clicking, and interacting, the more ads companies could show. That business model became incredibly profitable. And eventually, businesses across every industry started copying the same strategy. Retailers now want customers constantly checking apps. Streaming services want endless viewing sessions. News platforms want continuous engagement. Gaming companies want daily active users. Even financial apps increasingly use engagement systems designed to keep users opening platforms repeatedly. The goal is no longer simply making a sale. The goal is becoming part of everyday behavior. Because habits create predictable consumers, and predictable consumers create predictable profits. One major reason the attention battle is becoming more aggressive is competition itself. Consumers today are overwhelmed with choices. Thousands of apps, millions of videos, endless products, infinite entertainment. Businesses know consumers can become distracted instantly. That creates enormous pressure. If companies lose attention, they risk losing revenue too. So businesses increasingly design systems that make disengagement difficult. That is why notifications became so aggressive. Every app wants to pull users back constantly. Messages, alerts, recommendations, reminders, limited time offers, personalized suggestions, all carefully designed to interrupt attention and redirect it toward company platforms. Streaming platforms use similar tactics. Autoplay systems reduce moments where users might stop watching. Algorithms constantly recommend new content before attention fades. The goal is keeping consumers engaged continuously for as long as possible. And artificial intelligence is making this battle even more intense. AI systems now analyze massive amounts of behavioral data to predict what keeps people engaged longest. What headlines trigger clicks? What videos hold attention? What emotions drive interaction? What notifications bring users back fastest? Businesses use this information to optimize engagement at extraordinary levels. That means platforms increasingly understand consumer behavior better than consumers understand themselves. And attention optimization is spreading far beyond technology. Retailers now use apps to create habit-driven shopping behavior. Restaurants push loyalty systems tied to frequent engagement. Airlines use reward systems to increase emotional attachment. Fitness apps use streaks and milestones to encourage constant interaction. Even productivity apps increasingly gamify behavior. The reason is simple: engaged consumers spend more. Another major reason businesses are fighting so aggressively for attention is advertising economics. Traditional advertising became less effective over time. Consumers learned to ignore many ads completely, so businesses realized they needed something stronger than occasional advertisements. They needed ongoing engagement. Instead of interrupting attention briefly, companies now want to own attention continuously. That is why ecosystems became so important. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Netflix. These companies are not just selling products anymore. They are building systems designed to keep consumers inside their platforms as much as possible. Because once businesses control attention, they gain enormous influence over future spending behavior. And there is another reason companies are becoming more aggressive. Growth is slowing in many industries. For years, businesses could rely heavily on expanding customer bases. But now markets feel more saturated. Most consumers already have smartphones, streaming subscriptions, social media accounts, shopping apps, delivery services. Finding entirely new users became harder. So businesses shifted focus toward maximizing engagement from existing customers instead. That means increasing screen time, increasing interaction frequency, increasing emotional attachment, increasing habit formation. Attention became the growth strategy. And companies increasingly use psychology to strengthen that strategy. Scarcity, notifications, streaks, variable rewards, personalized recommendations, countdown timers. These systems trigger emotional responses that keep consumers engaged longer. Many businesses now study behavioral psychology almost as seriously as product development itself, because emotionally engaged users are far more profitable than passive customers. But consumers are starting to feel the effects. People increasingly complain about digital exhaustion, notification fatigue, shorter attention spans, constant distraction. Many consumers feel like every app, service, and platform is fighting aggressively for mental space all the time. And honestly, they are. Because companies know something extremely important. If they lose attention, they often lose revenue shortly after. That creates enormous pressure to keep consumers engaged continuously. At the same time, businesses argue that personalization improves user experience. Better recommendations, faster convenience, more relevant content, smarter services. And to be fair, many consumers genuinely enjoy those benefits. But underneath the convenience is a much larger economic reality. Modern businesses increasingly depend on controlling engagement itself. And perhaps the biggest reason the attention battle is getting more aggressive is this. Attention has become directly connected to corporate survival. The companies that control consumer attention most effectively often gain the strongest advertising power, the most customer data, the highest retention, and the most predictable revenue. That makes attention incredibly valuable, which is why businesses are no longer competing only on product quality or pricing anymore. They are competing for time, habits, routines, emotions, and focus. Because in today's economy, consumer attention may be the most important resource companies can capture, and every major business in America knows it.